Hey everybody, Rick with the xcite channel. This video is going to be a little different today. I'm going to do just a talking head video about some of the differences I see between Thailand and the United States. I've been in Thailand now about 45 days. I'm getting ready to head back to the USA in about 15 or 16 more days. And I've just been thinking a lot of the differences that I've seen between the cultures and the way people treat each other in general, and thought I'd throw this out there so you guys could see what I feel as, just in my opinion only, some of the differences between the United States perspective on culture and how we treat people and our way of thinking versus the way I see and perceive people in Thailand thinking, especially in the North Territory around Sakon Nakhon and the Isan type people. So I really hope you stick around. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification. It'll really help me grow this channel as it's brand new. And keep watching, and let's get into the topic. Okay, first, let me cover, is this the land of smiles? You always hear that. That's what it's called. In my opinion, yes, it is. I've found that if I approach people in a friendly manner here, they always smile, they're always polite, and even if we don't communicate, sometimes I use Google Translator, and I specifically make it clear that Google Translator does not necessarily translate correctly in Thai. But the people, if they see my reaction and they see that I'm smiling or I'm being kind or I have kindness in my eyes when I'm talking to them, they're extremely forgiving people. If I say something wrong, they don't make fun of me. They don't get aggressive. They haven't been ridiculing me in any way that I can see or would understand. So is it the land of smiles? Yes, it is. Whenever I go out, I will wave to people that are in the village that speak no English. Some of them have never even seen a Farang or a white man, and they will smile. They come up, they want to shake my hand. They will give me a swati ka if they're a female, or a swati krap if they're a male, and be very extremely polite and kind to me. So land of smiles, yep, it's a 10 on this one. I agree. They've been very, very nice. Every place I've traveled, and so far I have traveled many places besides just this northeast region. I've been from Bangkok to Jom Tien to Hua Hin. I've been to Nong Khai, over by Laos. I've been to a lot of different areas in the time I've been here, and everybody has been extremely kind, zero issues. Okay, let's cover some things about language barrier. Is the language barrier something that seems to give me difficulties here? Yes, it does. At times, I'll be in an area to where there is absolutely zero English spoken. So I have to rely on my translator in Google on my phone, and I don't always know that it's correct or saying the right thing. For some reason, I've been reading a lot to where the translator it doesn't necessarily translate great in the Thai language, but most of the time I can get the point across, or I can even point or do different things that will convey my message. And while the communication at times has been a little bit difficult, has it been impossible? No. It hasn't created any problems for me. It might be a little bit time consuming for me to get the message across, but have I accomplished the goal that I've been trying to accomplish? Yes, every time I've managed to get my message across. I've had positive reactions, absolutely zero issues or aggressiveness or anything that I could take as seeming it was condescending or rude towards me in any way. It's been an extremely positive experience for me as far as communication. Though difficult, it's still been a positive outcome every time. So let's cover a little bit about driving in Thailand. I got a AAA license, international license. I don't really know how good that is, but it was something to show I'd made an effort. The difference I see in driving over here is incredible compared to what I see in the United States. First off, everything's mirrored opposite. So you're driving on the left-hand side of the road. This includes, it took me a while to get through my head, not only driving on the right side of the vehicle, left side of the road, but whenever you're driving, what's the fast lane versus a slow lane? Everything is an exact mirror opposite. The other thing I've noticed that really threw me at first was intersections, where in the United States we'll have four-way stops and the person to the right has the right-of-way, or whoever arrives first has the right-of-way. Here you will have these intersections and there are 0 stop signs. I mean, you can have a lot of traffic in these intersections and people just intermingle and criss and cross and go through. And what's amazing to me about this is in the United States, I see all of this road rage all the time. Here, I haven't seen any road rage. People actually manage to get through these intersections, and we've traveled a lot while I've been over here. And they get through these intersections, and while at first it was making my heart pound, it actually was no issue whatsoever. I didn't see any accidents. I didn't see any road rage whatsoever. People would just stop and let other people weave in and out, and they'd all work. So there truly was a method to the madness. It actually works. So where some people may come over here and look at it and try to think that, well, they should have this type of sign or that type, or they should have these things, I don't think so. What I see is the people themselves have learned how to interact with each other, and they do so even when they're driving. So you'll have these little motor scooters and small motorcycles weaving, lane cutting. People in cars watch for these, and they're cautious, and the people on the motorbikes watch the people in the cars. It's almost like a symphony that seems to work relatively good together. At least from my experience, what I've seen in the several thousand miles I've traveled in a vehicle while I've been over here, I have seen 0 issues. Everything has worked smoothly. And again, what's amazed me, 0 road rage. Nobody has been aggressive or mean to another driver, even if they get cut off a little bit, or even if they have to slow down and let somebody in. Absolutely no road rage. I haven't seen it at all. So take a lesson back in the USA, chill out, and it always works out. Okay, let's cover something about the food. You always hear how the food in Thailand is awesome. Well, I agree. The food here is absolutely great. A lot of it, I did a video to where I'd actually lost weight since I'd been here, but I'd been eating more. And I really attribute to this to the food is, most of the food I've been eating at small Thai restaurants or been preparing the food that would be purchased at a market back at the home. Absolutely no issues with it whatsoever. I don't feel like I swell up. It isn't just pounded with sodium like it is back in the States. It's actually, it's absolutely fantastic food. I feel healthy. I feel good. I haven't had any issues. I don't feel the swelling in my joints I do from all the salt back in the States, or sodium, however you want to put it. But it is absolutely, it's just awesome. And as far as cost effective, you can't find anything any cheaper than what you'll eat over here. I could literally eat 2 or 3 meals a day over here on about $5 or $6 US, and I mean full meals. I mean, I would be eating things like shrimp, squid, fish, beef, pork, vegetables, rice, whatever the dishes are. The one thing I will warn you about is if you don't like extremely spicy food, you need to be sure whenever they're preparing your food to tell them to leave out the spices and maybe give you a little bowl that you can dip it in or you can use like that, because Thai food is spicy. And I thought I liked things like hot peppers and chilies and things like that at home. Absolutely nothing like the spices they eat here. It'll break you out in a sweat, nose running, eyes watering. So you do need to be sure that you don't just order a standard Thai dish without letting them know to either take it easy on the spices or just leave the spices out and give you a little bowl of the spice type sauce to dip it in. Okay, let's talk what all you guys want to know about the women in Thailand. What's my opinion? I think Thailand has some of the most beautiful women you will ever see. And their attitude is unlike anything you will see in a lot of other countries. As far as it goes with feminism, I have failed to see it here rear its ugly head in this country. Thai women like to be feminine. They will work hard. I see lots of them out on the farm, or a lot of them will even work construction. But whenever it comes to wanting to be a woman, they truly recognize the difference between a woman and what she is capable of, and a male and what he is capable of. And this isn't knocking anybody in any way, shape, or form in any other country. I'm just telling you how I see it over here. The women realize that they don't have the physical body strength that some of the men have. So while they'll go out and work in construction, they will work in the jobs in construction that they can physically handle. And the men will work in the jobs in construction they can physically handle. And there's no animosity between the two. I see absolutely no problems with anybody not getting along or feeling like they're treated unequally. They accept who they are and what they're capable of doing. And I find this really not only interesting but pleasing to me, because as you know, back in the United States, this is again my personal opinion, but the feminist movement has really, I feel like, hurt women more than it's helped them. While it originally started out, from what I seen growing up in the 60s and the 70s, as giving women's right that they truly deserve. They do deserve these rights that they were denied. It's expanded past that into getting somewhat unrealistic, putting them in positions that I feel, as a boomer, that it's not only not wise, it doesn't make sense. In a lot of cases, we shouldn't put, in my opinion, a woman in a very dangerous position just because she thinks she can do that. It doesn't necessarily mean that she can physically do that or handle that situation. Thus, it could be putting her in danger, or it could be putting associates that work with her in danger. So that's just my general opinion. Don't take me to court over it, and don't get all upset. It's how I view it. Over here, I do not see that happening. What I see is the women go out and they work a lot of different jobs. Government jobs are highly respected over here, and I do mean highly respected. Government employees, if you are a teacher like my girlfriend is over here, she is very highly respected, and she is looked upon as being not only educated, but just in a respectful position, let's say culturally, within the society. So it's very, very different as far as what's acceptable over here and what's not. Now then, on the other side of the coin with the women, what I do see is that women really like American men, or men from Sweden, Farangs, whatever you want to call them. And the reason they do, I asked some questions of some of them while I was with them, or I had my girlfriend ask, because she could speak Thai to them and she would interpret back to me. And I asked them why it was that they liked, say, a man from America, or they looked for a man from America. And they would say, he's easy. And I kept feeling like there was something being lost in the communication. What do you mean easy? Easy to take advantage of, easy for this, easy for money. You always hear that Thai women are trying to scam people out of money. Well, she dug deeper and asked so I could try to get an understanding. They said, easy to talk to, easy to get along with, easy listening, polite, nice. And I guess the culture over here is Thai men treat Thai women completely differently than a Western man will treat a Thai woman. Somebody like me will come over here and I'll hold the door open for a woman. I will smile at her or tell her thank you, and I'll be very polite, or I will try to help her do things. I will, if she's doing something I see is heavy, I'll go over and pick it up, because that's my nature and what I was taught to do as a young man. And they look at this as being such a wonderful trait of Farang men from the United States that they absolutely fall in love with you. So it's not about the money, it's about the treatment. And while money, of course, does play a role in every relationship, and if you say it doesn't, I say, BS on that, because in the United States, you'll see that a woman will say a lot of times that a man must make so much money, he must be a certain height, he must look a certain way, he must be this or that, or they'll have nothing to do with him. I don't see that here. I see that older men are highly respected in this culture. They're looked at as having wisdom. And while they may have some security to them as far as having a little bit of money compared to what they earn here, that the women don't look at the men in this manner. We tend to come over here with this tainted view because in our culture it's changed a lot, and there's a lot of women that will lay down certain criteria before they'll have anything to do with a guy. Guy like me, old guy, pretty well used up his usefulness as far as they're concerned. I'm not a rich man, so I'm pretty well down on the totem pole for what an attractive, educated American woman would look for. Not so in Thailand. Over here, I come and the women look at me as being wise. They feel like I'm attractive because I try to stay somewhat physically fit. My demeanor towards them, let's say, in being polite and kind and trying to show gestures that I generally do want to look out for them and try to do a good job as far as being a gentleman, let's say, whenever we're in public. They absolutely adore this. So I'm telling you guys, if you have a problem in your country and you are looking for somebody to date or just be appreciated, or a wife or a girlfriend, whatever it may be that you're trying to, fill your need for, I found Thailand to be an number one place. I hear a lot of positive things about the Philippines too. Never been there, can't speak to it. But I can tell you my experiences in Thailand have been nothing but 110% positive. So if you're coming over here looking for a girlfriend, I would recommend the Northern Territory, because you get around Bangkok or to the south, people tend to be a little bit more westernized there. But you head north into the villages and the farmlands and the areas that haven't been westernized as much, and you will find so many beautiful, loving, kind women that will be so appreciative of just general good actions. Okay, let's talk about money in Thailand. I set up some accounts to where I transfer money from a bank account, my personal account in the United States. Last time I came to Thailand, I set up a bank account with Bangkok Bank. And then I use a program called Wise, and I send money from my U.S. account to my Bangkok bank account. I do this so I'm not charged these $8 ATM fees every time I go and use, say, my bank card and ATM. That's why I've got a Bangkok bank ATM. I send whatever number of dollars I feel like I'm going to need over here for a month, and then I can continually go to the ATM, draw out funds as I need it. You will find that in Thailand, it is mainly a cash type society. So you go to restaurants or you go to a lot of these places, they're not expecting debit cards or credit cards, they're just expecting you to pay. So it's probably a pretty good idea. I generally carry around 10,000 baht, or a little over $300 with me, $350 in Thai money all the time. Now I tell you what, guys, as far as being cost effective here, this place is unbelievable. I have been monitoring what I'm doing. I've stayed in some pretty fancy resorts so I could make some videos for you guys. I've also stayed in just some little Thai type mom and pop places that they'll set up little resorts in different areas, and I've stayed in those, and they've been extremely nice, very well built, very comfortable, but the cost has been so unbelievably low. I've paid as low as $7 and $8 a night, and some places up to $17, $18, and I've literally been sitting just right across the road from the beach. And I mean right across the road, 45 meters across the road from the beach. And then I stayed in a couple high-end places just to see what it was like and do a comparison. Really, I like the mom and pop places better. Food-wise, expense-wise, absolutely impossible to beat this place in my book. I do hear the exchange rates are a little better in the Philippines, but for me, the infrastructure here is better. I have good internet. I haven't had any problems with my hotspot that I use so I can make videos or just stay in contact via WhatsApp or Facebook with people back in the States. So I have averaged here, the last time I figured up, and I've been traveling a lot, and I do mean a lot, all over Thailand, we've been driving all over the place or flying. I've spent on average $1,400 to $1,600 a month, and that's been for two people. We've been eating out, we've either been paying for diesel fuel in a car and traveling, paying tolls on toll roads, staying in resorts or staying in small motels, hotels along the way. A couple times we've stayed with friends of the family, and it's all been just extremely cost effective. I can't even come close to traveling for this in the U.S. Even if I get on my motorcycle, my adventure bike, and go out, it's very easy to spend a couple $1,000s in a month, and that's with doing a lot of camping. So I feel like that the cost effectiveness here is impossible to beat, and I'll try to put up a video that kind of breaks this down for you in a little more detail, but for now, take my word for it, it is absolutely fantastic on the cost. Okay, let me summarize here a little bit what I've covered and what my general overall feelings are. Do I regret coming to Thailand? Absolutely not. Do I like Thailand? Yes, I do. Do I think this has been a positive experience? It has been such a positive experience that I'm already checking into getting a retirement visa, because I would like to be able to be part-time in the States to take care of business or things I need to do or to earn my money whenever I'm over there, maybe 4 or 5 months, but then I would like to stay over here for the other 6 months. It is not only cost effective, just in general, the culture and the feeling that I get whenever I'm here is always extremely positive. For me, personally, back in the United States, I do love my country and I love being an American and I love the United States. But right now, there is so much political unrest. There's so many problems with wokeness and a lot of other things that just don't sit with me well. And it's, to be quite frank, it's stressful. Whenever I'm in the United States, I always feel like that I'm under a stress, that I'm under pressure, not only political pressures and what you hear, but the way people act. A lot of people are so into this woke deal, or they're so into their political party, I feel like they're forgetting what life's all about. They're forgetting to just enjoy life and try to get along with each other the best they can, and that the idea of the United States is freedom. We have so many freedoms there. Our freedoms of speech, which we don't want to lose and people are trying to take, but we have the freedoms to say as we want. We have freedoms to travel as we want. We get to do lots of positive things there. But I see so much negativity. And we are products of our environment, and that's scientific proof. If you're constantly in this negative environment, it's going to affect you. It's going to mold your personality, what you think, how you feel, and your life in general. I'm tired of that. I like being over here where I see a lot of positive thinking. I see people that have very, very little, and they're always happy and they're smiling if they have a roof over their head and they have food in their belly and they get to go do some things and spend time with their family and groups and have get-togethers and a good time. These people are absolutely 100% happy. I don't hear them talking about the kingdom. I don't hear them say bad things about the king and queen. I don't hear them talk about anything political. What I see them concerned with is that they have a positive life. They try to help each other. They like to spend time together. Their families are truly families. They don't just get together the once a year on Christmas like people tend to do in the United States. These people will communicate with their families off and on several times a week, if for nothing else, just to call up and laugh and talk about what they're doing. I see this as being such a positive way of life compared to what I'm used to now back in the United States. So to summarize again, in general, this place is an extremely positive place. If you come over, you accept the culture for what it is. Don't try to change it to your culture. Accept what's going on. Watch before you react, because some things you may see you think are wrong or in a negative manner are not negative. It's just their culture. And so if you just kind of go with the flow and come over here and just enjoy life, forget about what's going on in the country you come from, and just try to be a little bit accepting of what's going on here, I think you will find that coming here can be one of the most positive experiences you'll ever have in your life. Even if you only come once and you stay for 30 to 60 days, which I think you should stay that long to get over the culture shock and see what's really going on over here. Once you do that, when you go back, I think it will give you a whole different perspective on what's going on and how you view things in your life and your country. Or you may be like me and decide, I really like it over here and I think I'm going to get me a retirement visa. Some people move over here permanently. I've met a lot of people from Sweden, Germany, Norway, Canada, and a few from the US that have said, I'm done with the other stuff. I'm coming over here. I want to retire here. This is an easy life. It's a smooth life. I don't have any issues here and I really enjoy it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have comments, leave them and let me know your experience, because I really would like to see what other people think as compared to my thoughts in the time I've been here. I've enjoyed doing this video. I hope you guys like this. I know it's a little bit different. Let me know what you like. Please like, subscribe, and ring the bell. It'll help me create more videos. This is Rick with the xcite channel, signing off. See you soon.